case, this video, before I guess on the way out,
All right.
it's by a channel called what's his name? Armchair Black Belt.
To look at footage like this and say that Rothrock didn't make a credible screen fighter is to simply be detached from reality. And that's really what all this girl boss hatred comes down to. The Hollywood action scene of the 80s and 90s was unable to see Rothrock as a credible on-screen fighter, not through any fault in her talent, but because of their own short-sighted, preconceived notions of what women are actually capable of. And it's the same reason Drinker and his barflies struggle with so-called girl bosses.
If you ever listen to, and I'm sure you mentioned this in the video at some point or something similar, but like if you ever listen to, like legitimate Hollywood martial artists, even the current ones or more recent ones, they will mention her alongside, as far as the greats, is like Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris and John Claude Van Damme and whatever. Like,
yeah, Cynthia Rothrock, before she became a film star in Hong Kong in her early 20s, was already considered the best in the world at 5 different martial arts. Not the best woman, just the best in the world.
Wait,
and she would regularly go to open tournament martial arts tournaments where there were no women's divisions and compete against men and walk away with first place trophies every time, almost every time.
Yeah.
And the screen, what the words you see on the screen there are true. If you talk to the designers of that character, she was the inspiration for Sonya Blade. And part of what is tragic about her story is that the original Mortal Kombat movie was in development in the early 90s at exactly the time when she was trying to transition from Hong Kong to Hollywood, and she could not even get invitations to even have conversations about auditioning for the role of a character that was based on her. Because Hollywood was looking for skinnier actresses. And no shade on the actress Bridget Wilson, who played Sonya Blade in Mortal Kombat. The fight choreo in that movie is amazing. But
Veronica from Billy Madison.
Yeah. The woman that the actual character was based on was told, I think it's mentioned in this clip, but she was told to her face by a Hollywood producer who watched her footage from Hong Kong that she wasn't good looking enough and did not make a credible screen fighter. And meanwhile, less talented martial artists like Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal is not even really a martial artist.
Yeah, he is. He's got a black belt in Aikido, but they were less talented than her, and they were being given 7-figure contracts, and she couldn't even get her foot in the door.
Yeah,
it's kind of outrageous.
It's and like she's hot. I'm sorry, this woman is hot.
Yeah,
yeah.
And
get out of here with it. She's not. Oh God, it makes me so mad.
And she's badass,
She's so badass.
We're gonna put this up here and the old banner on screen for here we go.
Yep.
They simply can't conceive of a real woman who is capable of the things Cynthia Rothrock and Michelle Yeoh in their primes were capable of doing. And that's not because women are actually incapable of doing those things. It's because the barfly's notions about gender and sex bear no resemblance to reality.
Damn.
Now, they like to tell themselves and their audiences that they are simply defending traditional storytelling from dangerous modern political agendas. And baked into this argument is an assumption, sometimes explicitly stated, that traditional storytelling and traditional gender roles are grounded in biological or metaphysical reality. That the girl boss is unbelievable as a character, not just because men are endowed with cartoonishly insurmountable advantages like greater average upper body strength or greater average bone density, but also because women are inherently less aggressive than men. And in this worldview, girl boss storytelling has to be framed as a modern transgression, because admitting that it's older than 21st century bitter American activists would be to call their entire worldview into question.
And the assumption that aggressiveness is really the key thing. Like I think Bruce Lee would take issue with that.
Yeah.
He was not an aggressive fighter, and for the most part, he in fact preached against being aggressive and angry when you're fighting, and it's
Yeah. Well, even that, like I used imprecise wording there. What I meant to say was cartoonishly exaggerated advantages. Like guys who talk shit about female action stars will always cite the fact that men on average have greater upper body strength or greater bone density or whatever. And it's not that big of an advantage. They talk about it like it's a decisive advantage, and it's absolutely impossible for a smaller person to win a fight against a bigger person. But there are entire martial arts designed around a smaller person beating a bigger person.
They're just grifters. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know that they really believe that shit. They were complaining, quote unquote, complaining about, speaking of Deborah Ann Woll in Born Again season 2, where she fucking elbowed a guy real hard in the nose and then fucking flipped him over or whatever, as if a woman can't do that.
Get the fuck out of here. She weighs 105 pounds soaking wet. That guy was armored, has a gun, is bigger and stronger than her, but a couple of elbows to the face and he's done.
As if, especially because she's not a small woman. You know what I mean? She's pretty tall. Like, if you elbow a person in the fucking nose real hard, you're going to fuck them up for a minute. They're going to be kind of,
yes.
You're probably breaking the nose. You're probably, maybe even worse, you know, busting some teeth out, something like that, depending on how hard you do it. It's
from someone who has been hit in the face by a woman's elbow multiple times in self-defense training. It will fuck you up.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't ever knocked out, but I came close. And these women, I'm a big dude. I'm like over 6 feet tall. And at the time I weighed like around 210. And a woman like literally half my size almost knocked me out because the technique, because she understood body mechanics and she understood how to leverage her own advantages, like a lower center of gravity and greater maneuverability. So yeah, the differences between men and women that they like to talk about, if you adjust for size, they basically disappear. Pound for pound, the female of any species is as vicious of a fighter as the male.
Yeah, and isn't, like, I mean, I'm sure it's not every martial art, but like I think many of them, part of the whole thing is that you want to strike in a way that you can debilitate your enemy as fast as possible.
Yes,
right.
And then run the fuck away.
And then get away. Yeah, that's step 2.
Your goal in a real fight is to stay on your feet and get the fuck away. That's what you need to do.
A dude can fight off like 50 dudes, you know, back to back for like a 10-minute straight fight sequence, right? But one woman can fight off 2 guys, like.
Yeah, I actually got a comment on this video of somebody saying, "Yeah, well, a woman fighting off a whole room full of men is unrealistic," and I was like, "Bro, a man fighting off a room full of people is also unrealistic."
Unrealistic. That's not how that works.
That is not how that works. The more people attack you, the greater your chances of dying immediately.
And then, you know, I could come up with like a metric, like a chart for how to measure how absurd these things are, because this is if we're just talking about just like regular people in a movie. If we're talking about some kind of fantasy element added to it, then it becomes even, you know, like Black Widow or whatever.
A knife.
Yeah.
Like, what a knife brings to a fist fight is a huge force multiplier.
Yeah. There's a great video that went viral a couple years ago of 2 Marines saying, "Okay, we're going to show you 100% accurate, always effective in every single situation, knife fighting defense."
What's up, guys? Mr. Obnoxious, Special Forces Navy SEAL Ranger here to show you a couple knife defenses. One in particular. Now, I'm just going to go full speed on this. So pay attention and hope you learn something. Good.
And then they square up and they say go. And one guy pulls a knife and the other guy runs away.
Or runs away. Yeah. That's, there is I have a friend who does historical martial arts, and he was showing me some stuff about what would happen if you tried to wrestle someone with a knife. And so the guy wielding the knife in the fight has a knife that collapses into the hilt. And it is just him stabbing this guy in the back.
Right.
And it's a lot, and it's fast.
Yeah, we when I was training, we would do it with a magic marker,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, and you were
like a
all
Sharpie,
colors.
and you have to wear a white shirt, and
Yep.
and they put up. So the guys who were in this program I was in, who were being the padded instructors, of which I was one, most of them were like BJJ practitioners.
Sure.
And the guys who showed up as new recruits thought they were king shit of fuck mountain, right? And so they would try to use their BJJ on they would reverse roles. Part of the training was switching roles. So
Yeah.
the predator actor becomes the prey, or the victim, and the victim becomes the attacker. So they
Right.
would give a woman the magic marker, and the dude would have to wear a white shirt, and they would try to use their BJJ on her. And then when they called the whistle and he stood up, there's black marks on all of his vital organs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because if you decide you're going to roll around on the ground with a person who has a knife, you've essentially signed your death warrant.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to throw a wrinkle into this and ask you guys, what do you think would happen if it was a wizard?
With a knife?
Well, let's just check this out.
I would say roll initiative.
Yeah, I would say roll. Yeah, I would say roll initiative.
Got to promote this channel again because
I know Kung Fu. You have offended my family.
I got 3 weeks weapons training.
And you have offended the Shaolin Temple.